It's an ironic consequence Beatrice threw cold water on Harry and Meghan's faces for insulting William. When it comes to the relationship between members of the royal family, of course, envy and jealousy are going to happen. But in a way, things have gone too far from the usual stereotypes. Now here, of course, I am discussing Harry's betrayal of his cousins and especially of his brother William. Now William is a pretty nice person, so I'm going to start with him. William is very close with Zara and Mike Tyndall. Now Zara, of course, is Princess Anne's daughter. And what is interesting with William is how he has always gravitated toward the two kids of Princess Anne, Peter Phillips and Zara Phillips Tyndall. They would enjoy spending time together during family occasions. But Harry, on the other hand, he preferred to spend his time with Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. Now when Catherine and William got married, apparently Eugenie was not a very big fan of Catherine. There was no real reason, but Eugenie would push Catherine and she said something nasty to her as she made her way down the steps from St. Magdalene Church only a few years ago. So Catherine turned to see who had pushed past her, and she saw that it was Eugenie. Well, obviously, that is an incredibly rude thing to do. No born princess should ever act like that, but Eugenie is not really playing for the home team lately. She loves Meghan Markle and she likes to spend a lot of time with Harry, so we've got to consider that. And I'm just not sure about Princess Beatrice. I can't tell if she's a nice person or not. It seems like she's trying to play both sides. But still, she hasn't been obviously rude to Catherine. And I've never heard Beatrice say anything bad about William or Catherine. It seems like she just minds her own business for the most part. I have heard rumors that make it seem like one of the daughters of Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew simply cannot appreciate how beautiful, how nice, and how talented Catherine really is. And I've been hearing that Meghan was a close associate of Andrew. So perhaps that side of the family has decided to support Harry and his nasty wife. Sadly, it seems like Eugenie has inherited her father's sense of entitlement and his overinflated ego. She said once, "I'm a true-blood princess," whereas Catherine is nothing, just a commoner. And then she pushed right past her. Eugenie simply does not understand that arrogance and being rude do not look good on anybody, and especially not a young woman with thoughts above her station. Especially in today's modern world where titles don't mean all that much. So Eugenie is basically an ignorant, jealous, rude person. But Catherine is a gorgeous woman inside and out. She's got great manner. She's loyal. She's smart. She's kind. She's interesting. She's fun, hardworking, so smart. And she is more than appropriate to become the queen in years to come. Even though, alright, to be fair, she is just a commoner. All the other royals, such as Prince William, King Charles, Queen Camilla, Princess Anne, Sophie Anne, Edward, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, and their kids all get along just fine with William and Catherine. They don't have any problems with them whatsoever. And what about Harry? Well, Harry is making it basically impossible to like him since he married Meghan Markle. Now before that, it seemed like all the members of the royal family liked Harry. But these days, nobody wants to be near him. Sophie just gives him a glare and Meghan too, because she is so sick of his little fits. And I'm sure she's tired of Meghan being so self-important in spite of the fact that as a royal, she was a complete failure. Now in my view, the only members of the royal family who really like Harry are Sarah Ferguson, Eugenie, who is a close friend to not only Harry and Meghan, but also Princess Beatrice. And King Charles might not like his son very much, but at the end of the day, I know he loves him deeply. And I'm pretty sure that Camilla does not like or love Harry, and Prince William probably feels about like Camilla does. So it looks to me like all the other royals despise Harry because of what he has said and what he has done. And because he's the source of so much hurt to Prince Philip in his later years, and Harry and his evil wife also hurt Queen Elizabeth so much, the people who were close to her say they did indeed lead her to an early grave. The late queen felt so hurt and puzzled by how Harry could do this to her and her legacy. I don't think Harry's ever going to be able to live down the pain and the betrayal that he caused two of the most iconic royals, his own grandparents. The rest of the family is never going to be able to forget that, or at least most of them. The actual kind and caring royals do not like Harry any longer, but they do adore Prince William and they're going to be there to support him. Of course, nobody wants the kind of disruption that comes with Harry and Meghan, but there is a silver lining in all of this mess. The monarchy continues to be challenged to justify its presence and the cost to the country. So William's favorable image shines a lot more brightly against Harry. That's some small measure of relief that the future king is a man with a great character and that could help him preserve the institution. It's a pretty interesting consequence of Meghan and Harry's intentions, quite ironic. And Fergie, to tell the truth, is not really a commoner anyway. Her immediate family was not titled, but some of her relatives were, and she is a direct descendant of titled families. So she was always mixing around in aristocratic circles, and she did grow up with the late Diana. So technically she might have been a commoner, but she's not really. That said, I don't even think Fergie likes Meghan and Harry. Recently, she has distanced herself from that whole mess. I think sometimes she's trying to stay neutral, and it's a little bit off-putting. But still, she actively said that she did not know Meghan, which essentially negates a couple of stories that Meghan has told. And as for Eugenie, did you all catch how her husband Jack glared in a very hostile manner at the funeral? He was looking right at Meghan and Harry. I suspect that Eugenie was trying to offer Harry a lifeline, but I guess she's probably done with him too. And apparently, Fergie was absolutely horrified that Meghan announced that she was pregnant at Eugenie's wedding. I mean, even in middle-class circles, this simply is not done. So I assume it's a lot worse in these aristocratic circles. And Fergie recently said that she didn't even really know or meet Meghan, which is going to completely ruin Harry and Meghan's narrative about how Fergie was the one who guided her to curtsy or whatever that stupid story was. Fergie has made it pretty clear that she is backing the royals in recent comments that she has made, although she's often talking about trying to be neutral, saying, "Oh, I don't judge anyone." But it just comes off as weird and awkward considering the circumstances. And as for Eugenie, well, she hasn't said anything against the monarchy publicly. And as Harry and Meghan continue to plummet, I'm guessing that she's going to distance herself from them as well. I do agree, though, that she's got some kind of problem with Catherine. And I suspect Beatrice is just trying to stay above the fray. What I found so awful was that Harry waited until the Queen passed away before he announced that he and Meghan did not consider the royal family to be racist. He knew how upset his grandmother was about people assuming that she was racist. But he just had to wait until she passed away before he denied that they ever made those horrible accusations. That is pure evil. It looks like this is just a case of history repeating itself again. We're seeing another Edward and Wallis Simpson. They were, of course, ignored by the royal family, and so they eventually faded into oblivion. Now the people in the US are not very happy with the Spare. The way that he promoted drug use did not go over very well with a lot of Americans. So if he's kicked out of the US, it's going to be very interesting to see whether or not Harry tries to come back to the UK and whether or not he's allowed to rejoin the royal fold. I'm pretty sure he would not be allowed to undertake royal duties, and I do think that he would have to live as a commoner. So maybe he could just go to South Africa and just live whatever kind of life he wants to live. He truly is a thoughtless imbecile.